welcome back to my channel, and these are the 7 books that I read in January. Hi, welcome to my January wrap up. This month I read 7 books, 2 on my Kindle, 2 library books and 3 of my own. And I had a pretty good reading month. I've been on quite a complete roll. So my first book that I read in January was A Language of Dragons by S.F. Williamson. This is a YA fantasy book set in an alternative London in the 1920s. The plot, it follows Viv Featherstone, who, after her parents are arrested, she helps a dragon, Chumanda, escape to try and destroy the evidence that they may have against her parents. Following this, a war breaks out. Viv is then forced to work at Belchy Park, breaking codes and unlocking the secrets of a dragon language to aid in the war. But as the story goes on, Viv is wondering whose side should be on, and she uncovers a lot of secrets. There is heartbreak in this. There is one guard. Now, normally when I read a book, it's very rare that I really dislike a character, but I disliked Ralph. He was a bully to Viv, and he's not a very nice person at all. So if a book is written like that, where a character you hate, it's very well written. I gave this 5 paws. I absolutely loved it. I devoured it in 4 days. So if a book is good, I devour it very, very quickly. And I definitely will be picking up the second book. The next book I read in January is The Unexpected Guest by Agatha Christie, and if you see my recent videos, you know since last August I'm completely hooked on Agatha Christie and all her crime books at the moment. This is a lovely short book. This is a story about a foggy night. Michael Starkweather cars breaks down, and he goes to a house and he finds the owner of the house, Richard Warwick, dead in his wheelchair, and his wife Laura holding the gun. Starkweather helps create a false narrative to protect Laura, pointing suspicions at one of Richard's former enemies, where he killed his son with a car. The house is full of suspects with motives, from the housekeeper to his mentally disabled brother and a lover. But there is a good twist in this one, because you think Laura is the killer, but there then is an unexpected twist, and the killer has actually been under their nose all along, but only the wife Laura knows who actually did kill Richard. So yeah, it's a very quick read, and I have really enjoyed this one. This one I did though give 4 paws. 4. So yeah, another great. So if you're into just a quick read with a quiet crime feel book, murder mystery, then I definitely recommend this one. Poppy clearly has had enough being on camera. She's moved over there. Another book I read in January. Oh, it was so moving, beautifully written, and I keep thinking of it now, even though I only finished it last week, and that's When the Cranes Fly South by Lisa Ridson. This is a story following an elderly man living alone, who has his dog who he's deeply attached to, Sixton. It's a story about him where he is dealing with his wife who has Alzheimer's. She's living in a home, and his strained relationship with his son Hans. It basically, he's struggling with Alzheimer's as well. His son wants to move him into a home and take his dog away because he believes he can't really look after Sixton properly anymore. So this book explores aging, loneliness, the comfort of nature, because he lives in the northern rural Sweden, and the description of where he lives is absolutely beautiful, and I can picture it in my mind how beautiful it is, and Sweden is a country I would love to visit anyway. But it's a story of him, memories of his wife before she was put into a home for Alzheimer's, the daily talks with his best friend Hans. No, that's his son Hans, sorry. His best friend. Anyway, Hans does get the dog sent away, and then from that moment Bo does deteriorate quite a lot, and towards the end of the book is basically his end of life, describing his end of life, and it is such a sad story. From the moment Sixten is taken away, he not only loses his dog, but he does lose his best friend as well. So if you do want a really good cry, I recommend When the Cranes Fly South. I gave this 5 paws without a doubt. I flew through this one as well. Yeah, so heartbreaking, but yeah, I loved it. The next book I read is on my Kindle, and that is Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. This book was wow. It had the best twist in it ever. I'm reading along, the twist happens, I'm carrying on reading, then I go, huh, what? And then I have to go back and read where the twist happens. It was brilliant. It's a story about Adam and Amelia, who Amelia has won a prize to stay in a renovated, isolated chapel in Scotland. Isolated chapel in Scotland. The weather's really bad, they take their dog, and then the story alternates between present day while they're in the snowy Highlands and letters written by his wife over 10 years. Once they're in this chapel, weird things start happening and another character is introduced, and you just think it's some crazy person, but this actually had me so hooked. Who is this other person that's living in the Highlands? What is making this supposedly nice weekend away turn absolutely, I don't know, what's the word, turn out completely strange, and strange things happening. I absolutely loved it, and I gave this one 5 paws as well, because the twist in it, I don't want to say what the twist is because that will spoil it. You just need to read it. The next book I read was on my Kindle, and I finished it in less than 24 hours. A snow day did help with that, which was great. Is 5 Liars by D.L. Fisher. This is a fairly new book that came out, I think I downloaded it on my Kindle the day after it came out. It's a fast-paced psychological thriller. The characters are a group of people, so it's a joint bachelorette party and there's the bride, the groom, the best man and others. They go on a luxurious vacation, and it turns into a deadly game of survival as tensions run high during a Category 3 hurricane, leaving the group isolated inside their Airbnb. They're all harbouring secrets. Specifically a fraud, an imposter, a cheater, a fake and a murderer. The themes are controlled, betrayal and hidden truths, and as the story goes on, all the hidden truths start coming out of who is the murderer, who is the cheater, who is the imposter and the fraud and the fake. I absolutely love this, and this was also another 5 paws from me. It is fast paced, so it had me gripped from the beginning all the way to the end. And there is again another twist in this, as one of the characters, the girlfriend of the best man, you think she's left behind in America, but she pops up and she has connections in the past with the bride. So yeah, if you like something fast paced, it's not a very long book, it's about just over 200 pages, it's fast paced, it will keep you gripped. This is definitely one for you. Again, 5 paws. The next book I read is Genesis by Karen Slaughter. Really getting into Karen Slaughter as well again at the moment. I read Pretty Girls, which was the first book a few years ago, and last summer I started picking up her books again, because they are another fast-paced thrillers exploring different themes. Genesis is about a young woman who is found severely wounded at the side of the road, and she is found to be the victim of a sadistic killer who runs a torture chamber. There are 4 victims, I believe, in this. 1 dies, 1 survives, and the other 2 basically fight their way out. The main characters are Sarah, who's one of the doctors, Will, Trent and Faith Mitchell, who Will and Faith are partners, detective partners. It's very dark and gritty and fast paced, which is what I like about thrillers. If they're fast paced and they keep me gripped, I love them. It explores a lot of themes of trauma, violence and secrets. The characters sort of come together from the Grant County series and Will Trent series, which is, I like it when books kind of get thrown together with characters from different series. But yeah, the descriptions in this book of what happened to the tortured victim is pretty gruesome, which is what I kind of enjoyed. It sounds really weird, but yeah, I definitely like this one. It's with 5 paws. Again, 5 paws again from me. Yeah, I've been on a roll this January. You do find out, obviously, who the killer is, who owns a lovely torture chamber. The torture chamber is underground. And then there is a second one in a basement. So, yeah, this guy is just completely and utterly... But yeah, these women are kidnapped. They don't know where they are, and he does some gruesome thing. He makes them deaf. He gouges their eyeballs. One of them isn't. I don't think one of them. One of them doesn't end up blind, so she gets to see her son again. But yeah, I just don't know what to say about this because it is an amazing book. Yeah, 5 paws. And the last book that I mentioned that I read in January is A Death in Venice by Verity Bright. This book is set in 1924, where Lady Eleanor Swift has been on a tour of Italy with her butler Clifford. On her first gondola ride, she witnesses an argument between some gondola guys. I know there's a special name for that probably, but I can't remember what it is, where one ends up with a knife in his back. It's a gripping historical murder mystery. I don't know much to say about it. It kind of jumps straight into the murder, which I think is great, but then it kind of goes off course about her going to the famous carnival in Venice, and then it kind of... To me, it kind of went off plan, and nothing mentioned about the murder for a bit, and I didn't really enjoy this much, whether it's because I'm so used to other crime writers, murder mystery writers who get straight into it and then have you gripped, like obviously like Karen Slaughter, Agatha Christie, and that, and I only gave it 2 paws because I just really couldn't get on with it. I only picked this book on a whim because of doing the book bingo with Warwickshire Libraries, and I needed to read a book with a green cover. This had a green cover, so I thought, hey, why not, let's try it. It might not be that bad, but yeah, I really did not rate this at all. Yeah, it kind of went off for me, but I kind of persevered with it to finish it. So yeah, sorry, Lady Eleanor Swift, I really didn't like your murder mystery, I'm afraid. So hence why the very quick book review on this one. As you can tell, I could rabbit on about books, but I kind of try and make it short and sweet. But they are the books that I read in January. So I've started off 2026 with a pretty good reading haul. And I will hope to see you for another video very soon. Bye!